Hi, Joe Kehrig with the Kehrig Real Estate Team, and this is your Blackhawk Tassajara Valley neighborhood update for the week of March 8th. We're going to dive right into the graphs because I want to get into some other charts I want to show you. It's funny because a year ago when we started these videos, if you remember, the number one question I had, when the market basically, it didn't so much tank in real estate, it just paused, was, hey, is this going to be 2007 or 8? So for months, I shared, graphs with you guys showing you why this was not going to be another 2007 or 8. And it's so funny, as we all know, the market has literally gone nuts. I've never seen anything like it in 43 years of professionally selling real estate. And in the Tassajara Valley, Blackhawk being the number one real estate professional for over 30 years, I've never seen anything like it. So again, but what's funny about it is we're completely 180 of where we were a year ago when we started the lockdowns, as far as the market just being so strong. But what's the number one question I get? Joe, is this a bubble? Is this going to be 2007 or 8? And I was laughing the other day. I'm thinking, oh my God, the market couldn't be more different than it was a year ago when we started COVID. But yet I'm getting the same question, but for different reasons. So I do want to review that again with you, why this is not going to be a 2007 or 8. Again, many reasons. One, we talk about 56% of the people have over 50% equity in their home. The other thing to remember too is, even the government now is getting a little worried. Home prices are going up so much, people aren't able to afford, the homes. And the government and they're worried about inflation, so they can manipulate the interest rates. They do manipulate the interest rates, to try to keep things, on par. And one of the concerns is, okay, they're going to basically stall out the market and keep prices down by raising the interest rates, which we've definitely seen the 10-year Treasury go up. Interest rates follow that. The interest rates for the first time since last July ticked above 3%. So they are going to tick up a little bit, but if the government steps in and raises the interest rates, the Federal Reserve raises the interest rates, kind of keep the inflation down and slow down the market, that's going to hurt the demand. But what is it going to do to the supply? If you've refinanced and you purchased a new home and you got a 2.75% interest rate, and now interest rates are 5%, you're going to die in that home. I mean, you're not going to want to give up a 2.75% interest rate. So what it's going to do is it definitely will knock, if they raise the interest rates, it will bring the supply down a little bit, but or it will bring the demand down a little bit, but it's going to also hurt the supply because no one's going to want to put their home on the market to go buy something else at a 5%, interest rate. So let's look at the graphs first for Tassajara Valley. Now, overall in Danville, things have been kind of keeping up a little bit because what we saw last year was the pending sales going up, the active properties going down. The last, couple weeks in Danville overall, it stayed pretty steady, but not in Tassajara Valley. I mean, look at the active properties, 20, 13, 6. So as of last week, there was only 6 active properties and all of 94506 in the Danville market, which are probably around 6,000 homes. I don't know what that percentage is, but it's minuscule, 0.00 or whatever. And you look what happened a couple weeks ago. The pending sales went way up to 50. It was nuts, but then they dropped down to 14, and you go, well, that's good too. Well, why did they drop down to 14? Because there's no homes to buy. And so, a couple of those are condo townhouses, which aren't as strong in the market. A couple of those are multi-million-dollar homes. Matter of fact, we were looking for a buyer, and we ran it out the other day, and in Danville we couldn't find. We searched from $3 to $4 million in all of Danville, and it came up 0. And we actually had to go back in. We thought we were searching something wrong, but there was like no homes. And usually when the market's fast paced, you can usually get a more expensive home because they don't sell as quick. But $3 to $4 million is as active as anything else right now. So you can see that market is really out of whack. It'd be interesting to see. I don't expect pending sales to go up a whole lot next week because, I mean, my God, there's only 6 homes to choose from. So how much could they go up? Hopefully, as we get into spring, we will see more inventory come on the market. Now, Blackhawk's a little bit different. You saw pending sales go way down, but Why did pending sales go way down? Because again, there was no inventory. So we did see some inventory come on the market, but you'll probably see now next week, the active, the pending properties go up a little bit. So again, it's kind of a nuts market in both, the 94506 Blackhawk and the Tassajara Valley. Let's look at Tassajara. The active properties, the days on the market average 6, so those 6 homes on the market haven't been on for long. And the average price is over $2 million. And then the pendings, which were on the market 14 days. And remember, when you see the days on the market and you see it less than 7 days, chances are that thing sold with multiple offers right away. And the reason we say that is because when we put a home on the market like a Wednesday or Thursday, we go through scheduled tours. And with COVID, we're scheduling appointments every half hour. And with a hot property, literally Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, every half hour during the day up to 6 o'clock is taken from 9 to 6. And so, and then we'll usually look at offers like on Tuesday or the following Wednesday. So when you see something 5, 6, 7 days, that's a home selling right away, because you want to make sure you give it enough exposure to get the best price for it. So pending sales, you can see average of 14 days, 1.7 million, and the sold properties. And that makes sense, because you sit there and go, well, the pending properties are less. Well, because the sold properties went for 108% over asking. So they actually were listed for less than 1,738,000, and obviously got pumped up to over 1.8 million, and days on the market 4, which means they basically sold right away. Blackhawk, very similar, $3.4 million average price, 30 days on the market. The pendings, $3 million, and then you see the solds at 2.4 million, and you see 110% of asking. Well, there was only a couple properties that closed, so one closed way over asking, and kind of threw that off a little bit. But still, what you see is people are still cherry picking. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you can remember when that 2.4 million was 1.5 million. I mean, literally, prices have gone up hundreds of thousands of dollars, in the last, the last 3 months, I would say. Hopefully, we get some more inventory on the market. So people ask with this bubble, Joe, is this another 2007 and 8? Well, I'm going to show you again. I've been sharing graphs with you all during the year, but again, remember, 56% of the people have over 50% equity. So if it basically drops 10%, no one's going to go running. And my God, if you just own the home 3 to 4 years, you've got, 3 to 4 months, you've got a pretty good amount of equity in your property. But let's look at the differences between 2008 and now. Well, first off, you remember people talk about using their home like an ATM. Well, look at this graph. Through 2005 and through 7, $824 billion was basically cashed out of their home, hence an ATM. Look at 2018 through 20, 348, less than half. So people aren't using their home like an ATM. The other thing, too, is new housing. You look at the units completed, because in 2003, 4, 5, 6, there was record number of homes sold. Then obviously when the market crashed, there was all this inventory on the market, which just crashed the market down. You can see for the last 13 years, we've been below the 50-year average, because what's happened is people didn't really have the equity to move. And plus builders quit building because they got hurt, big time, in the great real estate recession of 2007 and 8. And you look at the inventory, because of that, what happened is by the time you got to 2007, you almost had 10 months of inventory on the market nationwide. Now the average in 2020 was 2.1. But I'm going to tell you that it is way worse than that in this area. I mean, when you look at those graphs, we literally have, in some cases, a week to 2 weeks of inventory on the market. In other words, if no new homes came on the market, based on the pending sales, how long would it take to burn off the inventory? Well, a week or two. That's it. And remember, you go back 2017, they consider anything less than 5 months is a seller's market. So we've been in the seller's market. Now we're just in an extreme, seller's market. Annual home price appreciation. Now we think it's went up a lot nationwide, 10%. But look at in 2004 and 5, 11 and 12%. And again, the appreciation was going up, so fast, it had so much to fall. Now, I am a little bit concerned about the last 3 months. I mean, literally $1.5 million home on average, and $1 million home has gone up $300,000 in the last 3 months. Now, whether the correction is just 10% or whether that gets, cut off the top, but still, even if it did, with the equity buildup, we're not going to get a 2007, 2008. But again, for all the reasons I mentioned before, with, the interest rates and home builders aren't building as much, even though they're building a little bit more, the inventory is going to be an issue with us a long time. So anticipate it being a strong seller's market for the foreseeable future. Obviously, stuff can happen. God, we do know that, we always used to sit there and say, unless something drastic happens, well, who is expecting a pandemic in, 2020? But look at the default risk, because they had all those funny money. We call them ninja loans: no income, no job, no assets. And you can see during 2005, 6, and 7, it was a mirror test. If you could fog a mirror, they give you a loan. And so the product risk and the borrower risk, well, the product risk was so high. You see the reasonable lending standard, where the borrower risk has gone down, and there's hardly almost any product risk anymore because they're not doing the ninja type loans anymore. So again, you're not going to see a lot of these homes, because what crashes the market, just like what goes up. So if that's why when we get a little bit more inventory, it will slow down the appreciation a little bit. Because if, as an example, if you got $1 million home, and let's say, for instance, you get 20 offers and it goes for $1,150,000. Well, now the next one's going to be priced at $1,150,000. You get 20 offers, because you usually get 1% higher for every offer you get, over one. So obviously, now $1,150,000, if you get 20 offers, is going to go up to $1,300,000. But now if you have twice as many homes on the market, instead of getting 10 offers on a home, you'll get 5. So instead of it going for $100,000 more than asking, it will go $50,000 more than asking. So you will see the price appreciation as we get into summer and more inventory comes on the market, slowing down a little bit. But from the default risk, people have equity, and there's not those ninja loans out there that people are going to get hurt by them. So, every home is a little bit different. So if you ever have any questions, remember, when we come out and visit someone, we're basically a counselor and an advisor. We give them the pieces of the puzzle we can. So if you just want to get an idea, because if you ever thought about selling, you should at least have that conversation and sit down, and we'll give you the pieces of the puzzle that we can, and you make the best decision, whatever that is, for you. We'll kind of guide you through the process. So reach out if you have any questions. Joe Kehrig, 925-487-6838. You can reach me at joe@kehrigteam.com. And visit our website if you want to learn more about us a little bit, www.kehrigteam.com. And if you like these videos, please tap the like button and hit the subscribe button and click on the bell to receive alerts on new videos. Thanks a lot for listening. Listen, we're almost on the other side of this COVID. Be smart, stay healthy, be safe. And may God bless you, and may God bless your family, and may God bless the United States of America. Take care. We'll see you next week.